coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Hey man, shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. I appreciate the love. Yeah, I appreciate the support. Bam, 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 bam. Ah, you see it? Watch them bullets. Yeah, DC, stand up, man. We out here. Big love, man, to everybody who support the movement, everybody who support the platform. Let's go. Let's get them. Let's jump right into it today, man. Listen, today I'm talking about, you know, that gang life in the penitentiary. It's a part of life in there now, man. You know, when I first got locked up, it was non-existent. In VA prison, gang life was non-existent, man. We ain't even know nothing about no. Oh, I didn't. Bloods, Crips, woo woo woo. That's just stuff that you heard in the news or on TV or something like that. It wasn't a part of Virginia prison system, man. But like I said, towards the end, yeah, they started getting in there. They started incorporating it in there. I don't know if it was dudes that was moving from out of state, coming to Virginia and incorporating that gang life in Virginia on the street, and then they end up getting locked up, coming into prison. I don't know how it came about, but I do know when it came fast, came hard. Them dudes started slowly but surely, you know, putting their thing down in Virginia prison, man, and they started getting some traction. They was running stuff towards the end for me getting out, especially on certain institutions. You know what I mean. And what I mean by running stuff is they commandeered a shower, they commandeered a phone, they commandeered uh their spot in stuff in there. But a lot of them was in the way because a lot of them was young. And like I said, they was clashing with the old timers because old timers weren't going for none of that. You know what I'm saying? We've been in the system a long time. That's the way it is. That's the way we know it to be. Uh, Gang life or not, old timers ain't going for no young dudes in there calling no shots but for himself, his own. If he gonna stand on all 10 on himself, then dudes gonna respect that. But if he would have clicked, he would have gang and all that, man, old timers ain't respecting that. They done put in too much work, too much time, too much blood, sweat, and years and tears into this penitentiary stuff, man, to stay alive. And they not gonna let you come in there and just tell them what to do. They don't even want to listen to the police. You know what I'm saying? The old timers done protested, they done rioted, they done went to war, they done caught more time. Nah, they ain't going for that, not at all, you know, and that's understandable. So a lot of that was getting clashes with them. But you know, like I say, they came to as like an unwritten rule. They staying out the way of the old timers. Everybody else, fair game. You know what I'm saying? Especially, you know, the non-black dudes. Everybody else was fair game, man. They was putting their thing down. You get in the shower, man, $50, man. You use this phone, man, $50 or whatever the case may be. Hey, look, when you go to the store, you got to bring us something. You got to break bread. Or they sending them little youngins in there to rob you, do this, that, and the third. Okay, but you got a lot of little young dudes that was in there too, that they was seeing that from my point of view, they were seeing that they was crash dummies. Cause whoever was at the top of the thing, and that's who's seeing people to do stuff. But whenever they send you to do something, you the one that's gonna get late. You the one that's gonna get in trouble. You understand? So however they doing it on the street, that's how they was doing it in prison, and especially in Virginia. So you had a lot of dudes that ain't want to be in the game no more once they got in prison, even though they was doing it on the street. They seeing in prison, man, that these dudes could send you on a mission where you're gonna get some more time. It's gonna be harder for you to get out of prison. You know what I'm saying? Or you might get unalived in there with that Bethlehem. They send you on a dummy mission messing with somebody, you know, take you out. So a lot of dudes are trying to get out of it. But however you get in on the street, I guess you get jumped in or whatever. In the penitentiary is the same way. If they want to get out of it, they got to get jumped out. You know what I'm saying? They can't just walk away from the situation, to my understanding. They just can't walk away from it. So I was in the block with this little youngin, and he came in. Evidently, he came in our block. I don't know if he came from I think he came from another penitentiary or either the other side of the yard. But he came in the block. How long he been doing it, I don't know. But he had a little size to him, not like no big muscle dude, but he was cut up. He looked like he was, you know, in fairly good shape, man. And he was in the game, but he wanted to get out. You know what I'm saying? So they kept on talking, negotiating, doing this, doing that in the third. The only reason I know because one of the little youngest that was a gang member, he won't that particular gang member. He was another time he was saying like, yeah, he want to get out because every day they 2 or 3 days they all in the corner, they huddled up, they talking this, that, and the third. You could tell by the body language that it ain't really like a good conversation. So the bottom line was he was telling them he wanted to get out the game. You know what I'm saying? I guess they was holding what they call court, like why, what's the reason, woo woo woo. So it come down to the point where, okay, you can get out, but you got to get jumped out. Okay, he cool with that. You know what I'm saying? So when we go outside the wreck, they got this little corner spot, which is the blind spot, whereas to it's really hard for that tower to see this for that corner spot because this tower over here cannot see around the corner. The other tower, the way it's positioned, can see around that corner, but it is extremely far away. It's all the way down the other end. They'll probably have to be using binoculars. It's really more or less for the yard that's right down in front of them. But that is the only tower they could actually see around that corner. So a lot of dudes go around that corner to rumble. You know what I'm saying? If they ain't trying to go to jail, if they just trying to get something off their chest, well, look, let's go man to man, or you know what I'm saying, knife to knife, Bethlehem to Bethlehem. They'll go around that corner and get it in. Dudes and got left laying around there, leaking, laying on the cement, bleeding out, unless somebody call help for them. Yard has been closing and dudes, police come to walk the yard. Dudes is laid over there, because that's a blind spot. It would make you think that the police would have done something about it by now, like knowing that, can't see right there. We keep finding casualties over here. We might need to put something over here or put somebody over here. They didn't because they don't care. You understand? So this is like the Thunderdome. This is where dudes rumble at. So the gang members go over there too to handle their business. They go over there to jump somebody in. They go over there when they jacking somebody up. They go over there when they trying to put a little robbery on a dude or something. So they also go over there to get their little, their little whatever they call it off, man. They got little 40 seconds, 60 seconds, whatever. I don't know all the rules, but they got this little thing where they fight. If they gang members amongst each other, they'll fight for like 60 seconds, something to squash the beef. So you don't be beefing with somebody that's supposed to be your gang brother. So they be doing little stuff like that. So everybody else on the yard right there, though, you can see right there. You can clearly see what's going on, right? It's a one basketball hoop right there. A lot of times dudes be over there trying to play one-on-one, but if they got business to handle over there, dudes will tell them, man, all right, y'all hold up for a minute, man. Hold up with the basketball. Which also causes problems too. Depends on who over there playing one-on-one. Like, man, y'all business ain't got nothing to do with our business. We ain't gonna stop our business so y'all can do y'all business. You understand? So those type of situations has transpired as well. So they go over there, man, you got about 14, 15 of these jokers, right? And they go over there with Youngin is saying he want to get out. So Youngin is in the corner. So what they doing is two dudes supposed to jump him out. You know what I'm saying? And they go in twos. And so it's really 2 against 1, which is, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I have seen 3 and 4 against 1. I don't know what they be doing or what they call it, but I've seen it. But this time they got 2 against 1. Now he got his back against the wall and the 2 dudes right there that's getting ready to rumble him. So dude got his watch. He looking at his watch. All right, I mean, y'all, and they just casually standing there like in front of each other until he say go. And then when he say stop, you supposed to stop. My man. Hey, know that sound insane, dog. Grown men sitting there just punching each other in the face or something and then stopping on point. Now these gang members, when they do it, they might do that depending on whatever they doing it for. Then when they finish, they dapping up, hug, lips busted. Man, no sir, no sir, no sir. Another reason why I could never be a gang member. I ain't going for none of that. You punch me in my mouth, man, we enemies forever. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is with me. But anyway, so they lining them up, 2 against him. When I tell you this young fella can rumble, I mean he can rumble. He got good squabbles, man. It won't so much as technical, you know what I'm saying, where he putting them together, but he got some power in them mitts, man. He got some one-hitter quitters, man. And he throwing decent shots. So he sitting there, he say, go. So 2 dudes on him, right? So boom, they start swinging. Man, bang, 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 bang. knocking him down. He hit the first dude like with a two-piece. Bop, bop, drop him. He go down to one knee. The other dude charging. Bam, bam, drop him. They both try to get, bam. He don't even hit them when they down. He let them get up. As soon as he get up, bam, bam, bam. Man, they bagging up. They hesitate now. So the dude is holding on like, get him, get him. Man, them dudes leaking, man. They leaking already. They leaking. He done cut one dude cheek open. He leaking straight from the cheek, mouth bleeding. The other dude mouth bleeding, nose bleed. They hesitate, and he just standing there because it ain't on him to be the aggressor. He getting jumped out, right? So boom, they standing there. They try to fake pump fake again, but he putting them out there. Back up, back up. Hey, we over there watching this joint like we watching a movie. So he punished the first two. Then we thinking it's over. Okay, boom, boom, boom. He said, nah, two more. So they sent two more. Same result. Same result. Boom, boom, boom. You know, boom, they rumbling. They try to grab him, push him up against the wall. He get up against the wall. He still swing. He ain't up on like, They trying to swing over top, hit him. They like, no, stand up, get up, get him off the wall. Get him off the wall, stand up. They let him go. This is in action. They taking commands. This is how trained these dudes is. They taking the commands, and you in combat, man. So they back up off of. They say, "Come on, we on the clock. Come on, get him, get him." So they coming. Bang, bang. He dropping him. Bang, bang, dropping him. I'm like, man. So we over there like, oh, Youngin. Dude over there said, Youngin got him. Youngin got him. You know what I'm saying? So he dropping him. But the dude went through 6 dudes, man. 6 dudes. 3 sets of twos. He did not disappoint, man. He whooped them all. He whooped them, every one of them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he got a little lip bust. You know what I'm saying? Both of the little lips look a little swollen, but that's all he had. You just fought 6 guys. You just fought 6 guys. Y'all might have wanted to keep him in the... Y'all might have wanted to keep him in the group. So he punished all 6 of them. So at the end, he's standing there, he huffing and puffing. They like, all right, okay, blood, you good, you out. He was like, all right, that's it, man, ain't no more. He's like, nah, you good. Now my whole thing is this dude that's sitting there calling the shots, he's sending y'all cannon fodders to get slaughtered because none of them could fight. Not near a single one of them. They look young, skinny, weaklings, and they got to do this, man. So they getting punished. They supposed to be jumping somebody out when they get knocked out. You understand? You jumping him out and you get knocked out. He beat the snot out of all of them leaking. All of them got cuts, busted nose, busted lips. Is it no wonder he ain't there when them lose they starting 5? Because Youngin was hitting them and that junk was sounding like, I mean, he was whacking them. Whack-a-mole. He was whack-a-gang dude. He was dropping them. And he got up out of the joint. You know what I'm saying? They feel a certain type of way now because you got a whole rack of dudes standing over here laughing and looking at it. Then you got the whispers and everything like, man, can't none of them little Bammers fight, man. You know, so they feeling a certain type of way. So it's a hit to their reputation. You know what I'm saying? Because they dominate by numbers. They dominate by numbers and fear. You know, dudes ain't gonna mess with them more or less. You know, unless you a real serious dude, he ain't gonna really mess with because you know they gonna jump. You know it's gonna be 8, 9, 10 of them on you. But when dudes can physically see that y'all dudes can't fight, you know what I'm saying? Especially, you know what I'm saying, twos and sets of twos, yeah, y'all obviously can't fight. So it take a little bit of the fear off of what they trying to put down. You know what I'm saying? So now, like I say, in penitentiary, everything spread. It was all over the compound. Man, dude got jumped out the game, man. None of them little dudes can't fight, man. Dude was whooping all of them, man. You know, then it get exaggerated. It get, you know what I'm saying, boost up. Man, he whooped about 10 of them. It was 6. It was really 6 up. But it get exaggerated, so they got they in their little feelings and showing up. Like next week, the following week, that's all they doing. They robbing, they running down on dudes. They beat 1 or 2 dudes up on the yacht, stomped them all out and everything. But this is what they doing though. They doing this to try to get their reputation back. You know what I'm saying? Youngin still in the pod. Yeah, he just ain't a game member no more. He's still in the pod. He man, he doing his own thing there. You understand? But they jumping on dudes. They running in sales, taxing dudes. You know what I'm saying? Because they trying to get their reputation back. Because dudes see that they ain't built like that. But they doing this in big numbers. 12, 13, 14, 15 dudes jumping on one dude. Of course you gonna pack them out. You gonna stomp them out. And that's what they started doing. You know what I'm saying? And they start being more aggressive with the shower, more aggressive with the phone. You know what I'm saying? They go to the shower, they got dudes standing right there for when they get in the shower. Dudes is on guard to make sure you can't run down on them, one of them when they in the shower. You know what I'm saying? When they using the phone, if they want to turn their back and be on the phone, they got one or two blood members standing right there watching him while he on the phone. You know what I'm saying? They watch each other back. They move in packs in there. You know what I'm saying? That's how they have their power, because they move in packs. But when dudes can visually see the individual, y'all can't fight. That's why when a dude got a sale partner that's a gang member, he not a gang member. If he got an issue with that sale partner, usually it goes down in the cell doing count. Why? So he could get it over with, deal with that one person, and he could go on and go to jail. He going to jail from his cell. Once the people heard y'all rumbling in there, they coming, you going to handcuffs, you leaving the cell, going straight to jail. But you ducking all of the gang activity that's going to happen if you come up out of that cell. You can't whoop no gang member in his cell and don't go to jail, and them doors open, and don't expect 100. You got 100% expectation that you're gonna get jumped. 100%. You understand? So dudes know that. So if you got a problem or issue with your seller and he a gang member, you better go ahead on and bang him out while you in the cell and take your L's. Unless you feel like you could go out there and deal with, because you're gonna deal with about 8 to 10, maybe 15 dudes, depending on how many of them in the block. If it ain't enough of them in the block, when you go to rec or you go to child and they send that word, when you get outside, it's gonna be worse. Then it might be 10 to 15, 20 of them, and they're gonna stomp you out. You know what I'm saying? The ones get caught gonna go to jail, woo woo woo, the rest of them gonna stay up out here. But they gonna do that to send the message that, yeah, you can't jump on the blood, you can't jump on the crip, you can't jump on the GD. This is how we move, and you gonna fight us all. You know what I'm saying? You gonna fight us all, and that's what's going on up in there, man. But Youngin was like, he ain't want no parts of it, because he know it be repercussions coming behind that too. Because it ain't like they won't have an issue with an old time. Ain't like they won't run into just a dude that just ain't going for it, and he gonna go pick that Bethlehem up. So dudes know that they might end up having to get stabbed, end up having to stab somebody and get some time, end up getting stabbed and lose your life, or end up getting transferred, sent up to the mountains, and you ain't got all your little homies with you. You got to get up there and find out who the Bloods up there, who the Crips up there. You got to do all of that. They may not even be moving like the ones you was around, the ones you got in trouble for. So dudes, they starting to see that, and they know that. You know what I'm saying? But that's why some of them want to get out, because they know it ain't going nowhere. Then especially depending on how much time you got. Me personally, I used to think that the dudes that got into it in prison, if they weren't into it on the street, if they was into it on the street, is understandable. But if they weren't into it on the street, because they was recruiting them in the prison, dudes was joining in the prison. So it's like I be thinking they just scared to fight on their own, and that helps them. But they don't look. They ain't looking at the flip side of it. You know, when they do send you on these missions, bro, then what you gonna do when you go to another camp? You have already created enemies. And like I told you, in the penitentiary, once you got enemies forever. Because you don't know who you're gonna run into. If you don't go on that enemy list with somebody that you have beef with, you don't know if you're gonna run into that person again. And then you got to worry about trying to see them before they see you. You don't know if you're gonna run into his brother. Why? Because you don't even know who his brother is. You don't know if you're gonna run into his cousin. Why? Because you don't even know who his cousin is. You don't know if you're gonna run into his pops, who already been in the penitentiary for 30 years and is a stone cold killer and ain't looking to go nowhere, but you done did something to his son. You know, and I've seen every one of these scenarios that I just explained. I've seen these scenarios. That's why I know these things. But when you get to beefing with somebody in prison, man, and they get physical, brother, you ain't never safe no more. So these dudes is doing this gang activity, and then they going other places, and they already on the hook. You know, so I guess dude seen that, and he was like, he didn't want no parts of it in prison, even though he was doing it on the street. And he said, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take my way out, man. Y'all go ahead and jump me out. You know what I'm saying? I guess they didn't anticipate that he had some one hit quitters on him. You know what I'm saying? They should have, you know, knew that, but they didn't. And he whooped 6 of them same day, easy breezy. Yeah, it took less than Probably less than 10 minutes. Probably less than 10 minutes, man. Probably less than 10 minutes. And ain't nobody go to jail. So that just lets you know that type of physical activity can be done in prison and don't nobody see it. As far as the police, they ain't gonna see nothing. They ain't gonna see nothing because you know why? They not looking for it. They not looking for it. Anything that go down with the police though, they see it and they're gonna be there just like another game. Police get hit within 3 to 5 minutes, it's gonna be 50, 60 police on the scene, and they gonna stomp you out and beat you down when you get them handcuffs on. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else could be over in the corner getting brutalized, getting unalive, and they ain't gonna get there until it's over. They ain't gonna get there until it's over. So that's prison life, man. That's what's going on in there, man. But on this day, yeah, Youngin wanted to get jumped out, man. Probably the best decision he ever made too, because you know I don't know his whole situation, but I heard he had a little time to do, and he decided to do it on his own. And I think that was probably the best decision he could have made. And the way it worked out for him, it came out good because he ain't get hurt. You know, little busted lip ain't gonna hurt nobody. And then you got a little reputation in the penitentiary where dudes know you will stand on your own. They know you will fight, and they know you can fight because you just whooped 6 dudes in one day. Yeah, in less than 10 minutes. So worked out better for him, man. But anyway, man, just wanted to drop that on y'all, man. Another thing about prison life, man. That's what is going on inside them walls, man. Concrete and steel, man. Y'all be safe, be smart, make good decisions. Talk to me in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this. Let me know if y'all think he made the right decision. I think he do 100%. 100%. And y'all make sure y'all go get that membership, man. Cause we ain't playing over there, man. Yeah, I put that coat on, man. It's a whole nother ball game, man. Y'all be safe, be smart, make good decisions, man. Hey, man. Duck them hooks. And if you do go to penitentiary, young people, if you do go to prison, PSA, don't go to prison. That's the number one thing. But if you do go to prison, if you out here living a life that calls for you that you may go to prison, while you out here on these streets and you free, rethink your decision. First thing I tell you. Second thing, if you ain't gonna rethink your decision, if you still gonna keep on taking chances, second thing I would tell you to do is take some self-defense classes. You gonna need them.
The banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.